the first dollar that I made online was with freelancing, working for other people, doing their work. And it's amazing to see that the freelancing world and the way things work, it's still alive in the age of AI. The things have just shifted a bit. Instead of just creating website or app, business owners and regular people are also paying you to create AI agents. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about money, which everyone wants to learn about, AI, agents, workflows, and how do you create something that actually is valuable for the end user. So see, like we have talked so many times, AI as a technology has reached a point where this piece of technology that is there, it's intelligent enough to do a lot of things, right? We talk about like how it can do a lot of coding part, how it can follow instructions really well. But at the end of the day, this is just a text generation machine, right? You give it some instructions, it gives you just the text as the output. So this text, which is over here, this needs to work. This needs to do actions in real world. Whether that's sending an email, giving you a reminder, giving you a call. Maybe if you're using multimodal agents, then voice is also an option here. So, maybe giving you a voice call or doing whatever. So these modalities have to be linked with the applications that humans use, because humans use all sorts of applications today. Gmail, Drive, iMessage, Telegram, Slack for work, Teams if you have bad luck. But you guys use all sorts of applications, and there are so many things, so many stuff, so many features and stuff that you can build with AI, that what effectively has happened is that there are some platforms that have come up which actually offer you the ability to build automations on top of all these platforms using AI. Now, one such platform which I had the chance to explore recently is SimAI platform, which of course has a very cool domain name, sim.ai, but it's actually a very powerful system as well. It's completely open source, so you'll be able to see their source code on GitHub. And it's a platform, as they mentioned, to build and deploy AI agent workflows. Let's take a look at what's going on inside this platform. So once you sign up, you will be presented into a screen which looks something like this, where you would have a bunch of your own personal workflows that you can organize into different things. Now, let me give you an example of a simple workflow to start off with, right? So the way this works is that, see, you have this one as a building block, and then you have these bunch of blocks over here, right? So these are some of the integrations which are supported right out of the box. The good thing is that if you have a custom MCP server or something that is specific to your own use case, like for example, if you're building an internal tooling for your company or for yourself, I have been told that SimAI's team will actually help you with that. If there's any integration which is missing, you can reach out to them and they will build that for you. And by the way, if you look at this integration list, you will see that this is much more than any other platform which is available, like ChatGPT or Claude. So these are the blocks that you can use, and these are the triggers that can happen, right? So trigger basically means is that what is that something that will initiate the workflow in the first place, right? Of course, it could be just a start where you just give an input manually yourself, or it could be something specific also. Let's say you get an email address, something happens on your email and you want to do a specific action, or something happens on your Slack server and a webhook is called, right? And you want to respond or you want to summarize or do whatever. So you can create these complex, complicated workflows which can be tied with each other as you're working with them. So I have a couple of examples that I've already prepared, which I want to walk through with you guys. So if we go into my YouTube demo folder, for example, you see that I have a start block over here, which is basically a way for me to input a video. Then I have this agent, which is basically a way for me to run an AI model on top of whatever I have done. And you can see on the right side, it keeps on customizing as I'm clicking and opening these boxes, right? So you see that you can specify a system prompt over here. And then there are these variable placeholders which help you link the output of previous box into the input of the next one. You can select the models of your choice. If you want to give like a custom MCP server or custom tools, you can do that here as well. The other interesting thing here is that there are a bunch of built-in tools and integrations which are available, which you can expose to your AI system. This agent, based on the system prompt that you have figured out and the user prompt that you have written, it will be smart enough to realize which tool or even multiple tools it has to call one by one in order to complete the sequence. You only have to prompt the agent and it will figure out which tools it needs to call in what order. For example, you can specify your own internal MCP server here, which the LLM can access and call if you want. If you want to keep some functionality out of SimAI for compliance reasons or whatever, you can do that via exposing your own MCP. Then we search for the video and we get the video details. You have to specify your API key here. You can add. And then, there is a second system that is using Claude Sonnet 4.5 this time for creating a summary, right? So now all you have to do is get a YouTube API key, because of course we want to do it the formal, the professional way. But what I want to show you in this workflow is, imagine that once you have the summary, well, how it will look like. Let me show you how this will look like. So let's say if I click on this run button over here, so we'll have to specify some dummy key in order to even run this. Let's see. So let's just give any random key for now, because we are not going to run this. But if you give this, and let's say if we go back here and if we run it over here, already. I guess I'll have to specify a valid key. Okay, so I have updated the key now. And let's say if I start running it from here, you can see a bunch of things starts to happen where it's going to YouTube. It's trying to get the data. It's trying to use the LLM to search. It's trying to use the API to search and then extract the LLM and then do like a bunch of more things over here. But what I want to show you in this example is, let's say once we are done with the summarization and everything, I also want the summary to be emailed to me, right? So this agent so far, all it's doing is creating a summary over here. So we have some summary of the video over here. Of course, this is not something that we want. What we want ideally is maybe using the summary as an email to me, right? So for example, if I'm on the go and I want a summarization of a video delivered to me over email, I can get that. So in that case, what you can do is use their Copilot in order to add or modify your existing workflow, right? So what I can say it, can you update the workflow to email me the summary at the end on my Gmail address. And if I do this, what you will see is that it starts thinking and it starts to work because it's already on Opus 4.5, so it's available intelligently and it can create this email block, which was, something that I would want to do. And as you can see, it has successfully added this send summary block, which uses my AI work email. This is an email that I've given to my AI and it can send this email to me as well. So I can customize this if I want, but that's fine. The other use case that I found, which is a relatively simpler one, is this one where my trigger is a Gmail inbox, right? So you see that initially I showed you, right, in the toolbar, there are two things, triggers and then blocks. In this case, I have chosen my trigger to be Gmail, where I have defined a specific behavior. The credentials has to be my own account. And then I suddenly and immediately run an agent on this, right? So whenever I'm receiving an email, this would be triggered. This is also deployed. So I've deployed this agent already. I make this email and then this second block, which is the block, not a trigger this time, actually labels my email with something, right? And how does it figure out that it has to be sponsorship? Well, it should actually be the content, not just a hard-coded sponsorship. And I'll tell you why that is the case. Because our agent over here is supposed to tell us what the label is supposed to be, right? So over here, if I change the system prompt, let's see the system prompt first of all, what this is. It says that you are an agent responsible for reading emails and then figuring out what label they will receive, right? So I can just give it a label of sponsorship over here or no sponsorship for now, right? So it says you will output nothing else except for one of these three labels, and that's it. And then you can choose a model of your choice, either GPT or Claude, Sonnet, Opus, whatever. I think Sonnet 4.5 would also be good for this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, if I update my deployment, this V2 is now live and this is actually connected with my inbox. So if I go to my inbox over here, you can see that I have like a little bit of inbox over here, a freshly created one, which I plan to use with all of my AI agents. I'm basically giving this away to AI overlords. And let's say I add an email over here, right? I'm going to say, so you can see my first email has arrived where I have just shared it as a sponsorship interest. Hi Mehul, I want to sponsor your YouTube channel. Are you interested? This is an email I have just sent from a different email address. And I'm going to send a second email over here as well, which is sort of generic now, right? And it is also here. Now, because this workflow is already running, we don't have to do anything as such. What's going to happen is that it will automatically go into sponsorship and this one will go into non-sponsorship, right? So it's possible to build these workflows like this. And similarly, newsletter kind of things where this one is sort of like a cron system, right? Which I just built, where I have this little agent that uses Exa search for performing search on everything new and trending that has happened in AI in the past week or in the past day actually, and give me sort of like a newsletter of my own, right? So I ran this some time back and what I got was this email address, right? So of course this is broken because this is all marked down, but you can see like this is actually relevant and latest news. It's not like some hallucinations that something AI is making up. And the reason this is relevant is because you can link it with tools like Exa Search, which provides a free AI search API. So now the question is that how do you make money out of this, right? This is what we want to discuss now. So it's very simple. There are a couple of ways you can make money out of this. The first one is, of course, look for freelance gigs, right? You have to be a freelancer in order to make money on this, like make real money, real good money, I would say. You have to look for freelance gigs on freelancing platforms where people actually want you to build these workflows. And trust me that there are a lot of people who want this. This allows you to just sell your services in the marketplace for somebody who's actually looking for buying a way for creating a complex workflow. The second thing that I feel is actually quite relevant and untapped is just look at your local businesses. A lot of these businesses are actually not AI native. Companies around you, which are offline or semi-online businesses, they'll be doing a lot of work manually, either by hand with, the owner by themselves doing a bunch of data crunching and scraping, or maybe like a couple of people doing a work of something which can be automated away with the help of AI and these workflows. And for local businesses, your opportunities are endless, basically. You can sell them marketing agents, right? Pieces of software that are continuously monitoring, let's say, their local SEO rank on Google or on ChatGPT or these LLMs. Like, do you actually come up if somebody's asking for who's the best barber around this area or what is the best shop for doing this specific thing? Then, of course, it's like some sort of support agents which get triggered when there's a new support request coming in on a Gmail inbox, let's say, which is something that I just showed you, right? And because it's connected with your MCP, custom MCP inside your company, inside your startup or inside your business, it can actually pull in more context on what the issue is or how can it be solved for a specific user, right? This can be packaged into an agent. In fact, if you're using anything popular out there and the MCP support is not there in the first place, I have been told, like I mentioned earlier in the video, that SimAI's team will actually build that flow for you, right? They can build that MCP server and MCP system for you. Now, this actually carries a lot of money because you can have first a setup cost and then a maintenance cost. And you can do this with multiple clients because the thing is that a lot of businesses actually fundamentally are same, right? They will have some people handling the operations, some people handling marketing, some people handling support, so on and so forth. And if you can create viable agents, you can pick that template and you can go and establish that for some other company, for some other person, and you can just start selling them. In fact, your workflows over here inside SimAI can actually work with other workflows here as well. For example, let's say if I'm starting this new workflow, I can go to Copilot and I can link my existing workflow over here. Let's say this basic newsletter. Let's say I say to it that if there is a new model release by a frontier lab, can you also inform my Slack channel? And if I shift this to build mode and if I build this, what I'm effectively building is a new workflow which is going through the newsletter which another agent has created, and it just makes it possible for me to link Slack on that different workflow in a new workflow, right? So these workflows that you're creating, these agents that you're creating, SimAI 1, SimAI 2, 3, 4, and so on, they will be able to work and independently operate. But if you give them the option, they can also talk among each other. So then you can have like a sort of like in an extreme case, you can have like a team of agents which are all deployed on SimAI, which are working together, doing different things, and just creating an experience for you in whatever way you want. But I mean, the important part here is that how do you package this and sell this? This has to be packaged when you are talking to potential businesses. This has to be packaged properly, right? And it has to sell across something like this. So you have to tell people that your rigid workflows, which most people have, if you're using any traditional tools, that if something happens, then you have to do something else. If this happens, then you have to do this. Instead of this, which can be done, by the way, with automation tools as well as by humans, instead of legacy automation tools, or instead of humans, both of them can be combined to be replaced with agents. And the only difference between these workflows and agents is that you can have brains, you can have intelligent boxes which are doing the decision making and figuring out which tree or which place to throw the next execution part to. And these agents comes with tools. And these tools can be anything. These can be MCP servers, they can make phone calls, they can make text messages, they can inform you on Slack, Gmail, Discord, wherever you want. So it has to come across as a productivity boost and not just that you are replacing humans. Because if you do it as a productivity boost, if you do the selling as a productivity boost, it will be much easier for you to show the value from day one. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Do check out Sim.ai, which is an amazing tool for building these AI agentic workflows and in fact packaging them and selling them to potential clients as well. This is a new era of freelancing, I feel, and people like you who are technical and you can link together a bunch of pieces of software and create value out of thin air, you should use these softwares and you should take advantage of the productivity boost that is getting here and sell it to your businesses around you, your local businesses, things and people you can find online. I mean, this is a great agency idea, to be honest, where you help your non-AI businesses become AI first, increasing their productivity, decreasing their operational costs. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you again for SimAI for sponsoring this video. This is the best platform that helps you build intelligent agents. So do check them out. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next video very soon. If you're still watching, make sure you leave a comment, "I watched till the end" below to tell me that you were still here, and let me know what do you think about the video.